Hi everyone, I'm Liz, and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for Flosstube episode 87. Did you want to be a part of it? I already did the intro. He wants Rob to wake up and feed him. Go bug him. Hi friends, welcome back to another Sunday Flosstube episode. I'm Liz and I'm very sing-songy because I'm very excited to be back here with you guys. It has been a very busy and stressful 2 weeks. I think in my last video I opened by being like, I'm finally not sick, I'm all better, and then was immediately like, oh, but I'm having surgery next week. So I enjoyed my health for a couple of weeks, and then I had surgery this past week. I'm all good. It was a planned thing. Recovery was a lot rougher than I thought it was going to be. I've never really had surgery before. I've had my wisdom teeth out, so I've had like anesthesia, but actually getting cut open and having wounds and incisions in your body, it's no joke. And I don't know why I'm telling you all this. I'm sure everyone who's had surgery knows this. It's terrible. And the hospital system, at least the one I was at, is a little bit of a mess right now. So there were like 2 nurses for 10, I think there were 10 surgical patients, like post-op surgical patients on the floor I was on, and they were like trying to get one of the nurses to go down to the ER, she was telling me, so that would have left 1 nurse. And yeah, so I mean, it was just like bare bones. It was hard, you know, when I pushed the nurse call button, like nobody would answer. So that was fun. Luckily, I was only in the hospital for about 18 hours, and then I got to come home and recover at home, which is much nicer. Even though IV pain meds are great, being in my own bed is also much better. Anyways, it's enough surgery talk. Obviously, I'm doing much better. I still have to work on getting my like stamina, endurance or whatever, like back up. I get winded super easily. We went to Target last night for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and I was like, okay, time to go home, because I'm just not, you know, I don't know. Surgery takes a lot out of you. So I'm definitely feeling much better, but just gotta slowly ramp back up. So anyways, that's kind of the, I guess, major thing that was happening this past week. Other than that though, I definitely have been sewing a lot, stitching some. I definitely had kind of my lowest volume of stitching the past 2 weeks because there were several days I just couldn't concentrate on anything. And so I just didn't do anything. I didn't stitch. I just kind of, you know, laid like a blob and played on my phone because I didn't even have the attention span to watch TV the first couple of days after surgery, which my mom and I were talking about. She, you know, when she was in the hospital in December, November, December, you know, she told me how she had no attention span and she couldn't even watch TV. And I was like, that's so weird. You'd think all you want to do is like, you know, you'd be bored. And she's like, I don't know, it's weird. And I definitely felt that for a couple of days where I was like, yeah, I don't know, just like staring at a wall and sleeping. So I have some stitching, I have a lot of sewing, and a lot of haul and giveaway announcements and some new fun giveaways. I have a lot to show you guys, so let's jump in with an FFO. I finished my Boot Crew quilt. See, I can hold most of it up, but I'll also insert some pictures, of course. But yeah, I got my Boot Crew quilt all quilted and bound. It hasn't been washed. Since it's going to be a wall hanging, I probably won't wash this unless for some reason it gets dirty, which it probably shouldn't. But I love the look of a wash quilt, like the crinkles, right? But for a wall quilt, I kind of want it to lay nice and flat, so I'm just not going to wash this one. I'll just let it be nice and flat. Yes, so this was a free mystery quilt along offered by the Fat Quarter Shop. And you can find all of the patterns on their blog. It's called Boo Crew. And yeah, it was just like a 3 or 4 week thing, and I jumped in kind of halfway through and just had a lot of fun making these blocks. I used a couple of the called for fabrics and then picked my own, some out of stash, some I bought. One that I bought is the backing that I love. And it's these crazy black cats with, you know, skeletons and white details, and all of the white details glow in the dark. And I took this into my closet when I finished like quilting it, and it really does glow in the dark. It's not even like you have to kind of squint to see it, like sometimes with that like glow in the dark thread and stuff. But no, this, you turn off the lights and this glows. So that's really fun. It's going to be hanging on the wall, so it's like, who's really going to see it? But I'll know and I'll enjoy it. So that's my Boo Crew. I'm so happy with this, and I'm just really excited to have more Halloween decorations to hang up starting probably in September. I'll probably wait till mid-September. It's, you know, it stays like 100 degrees here till like mid in September. So, you know, it's not really Halloween feeling yet, but that's okay. Okay, another FFO I had this week was something I made yesterday. And that is this adorable little storage basket. This is called the Petit Four basket from By Annie Patterns, and I'll link to it in the description box. There is also a video on the Fat Quarter Shop from several years ago showing how to put this together, and I was Googling these kind of like soft and stable foam type containers, and when I saw this was a free pattern, I jumped on it and tried it out, and I absolutely love it. I just picked some random fat quarters out of my stash. And originally I wanted to make a little fabric container to hold all of my Clover Wonder Clips, and this ended up being a tiny bit larger than what I needed for my Wonder Clips, so I decided to use it to hold my EPP supplies. And so in it, you can see I was using it last night, spoiler alert, to take all the papers out of my first EPP project, and then I have like my thread and my needles and some little Wonder Clips and stuff. And I've just been well, I've only started using it yesterday, but it's been really nice to sit on my little lap stand and have a little basket to put stuff, you know, little odds and ends in. So I'm obsessed, and I feel like I want to make 100 more of these. It was so fast. I think from the time I sat down, pulled up the instructions and started making it, it was like 45 minutes. So definitely a super quick and easy project. And a good one if you want to try out sewing with Soft and Stable, because, you know, just a few seams and it's really not bad. I will say any kind of like little basket or container can be difficult if you don't have a free arm on your sewing machine. And I do have a free arm, but because my Juki is like pretty, how do I say it? It has a pretty long arm. There's a lot of space. My free arm is actually longer than the depth of this basket, so I wasn't able to take advantage of using my free arm to top stitch and sew this. So I had to do it the hard way, but a free arm is very handy if you have one to make this little basket. But I'm also on the lookout for some smaller or like maybe narrower and taller containers because I really want to make one to keep all of my Wonder Clips in. And this is just a little bit too big for that purpose. Or I could just buy like 8 more packs and then fill it up, but that feels unnecessary. So anyways, that is my little Petit Four basket. Okay, the last FFO, and yes, all these FFOs are sewing. Don't worry, we'll get to cross stitch in a minute. I started an English paper piece EPP project back in June. I think I shared with you guys about, I don't know, 4 days before my wedding when I was like, you know, procrastinating. and crafting instead of packing, I was like, oh, Nicole's needlework. Nicole is making beautiful EPP project bags. I should probably make one, right? So I ordered supplies and started making hexagons. And so I made my little, I basted all my little hexagons, but I didn't have the right needles to start sewing them together or like a solid idea of what I was going to do with them. But all the stars aligned this week, and it turns out that EPP is excellent for on the couch recuperation, because you don't even need a pattern. You literally need a needle thread and your little hexagons and YouTube. I've been watching so much YouTube this past week. Okay, so you want to see what I made with my hexagons? Oh my god. The cutest project bag in the world. I'm obsessed with this thing and how it turned out. It's like even better than what I had imagined. I didn't have like a full solid plan. All I knew is that I was going to sew the hexagons into kind of the biggest rectangle I could get and go from there in terms of making a project bag. And I just am obsessed. I also just wanted to use supplies I had in my house. So I used a charm pack I had called Midnight Magic 2 by April Rosenthal. And I supplemented, this layout needed 45 hexagons. And so I supplemented 3 black and white stripes just to get me to the full kind of width that I needed. I think if I had thought about it a little bit more, I probably would have made 4 more to go across the top just to raise it up another inch. But I'm really happy with the size and how everything turned out. But I think next time I'll know 49 hexagons, I think, is the size that I want. It's kind of hard to think about how to lay out hexagons. Like, obviously it's easy to think about with squares. You have a height and a width, but hexagons nest together. So that part like kind of tripped me up this week. But yeah, I definitely need, like, this is a brand new hobby for me. I've never done English paper piecing before. And so I definitely need to watch some more videos about like kind of the most efficient order to sew them together in, and how to like plan your layout, and like how many squares or how many hexes will give you what size shape, like stuff like that. I don't even know. Hopefully those kind of tutorials exist. If anybody has any recommendations, leave them below. But yes, I used the Tula Pink glue-based method, and I also used her recommended Aurifil 50 weight, which is what I use in my sewing machine, so that's perfect. I had it on hand. I definitely need a little bit of work on my hand stitches. You can see some of them, especially when the blacks join up together, but that's okay. This is my first one and I love it. So, let's see, what else do I need to tell you about this bag? I didn't film the process. I thought about it, but I put this together over about an hour and a half last night. And I just didn't feel like setting up the camera to do all the different angles, because when I film sewing tutorials, it's like 3 different camera setups. I need like my cutting table, my ironing board, and then my sewing machine. And I only have 1 camera, 1 tripod, you know, like, so it's like a lot of, it adds a lot of time and work to set up the camera to capture all of that. So I didn't do it last night, apologies. But I did take a ton of photos. So I kind of want to talk to you about how I made this bag, just in case anybody wants to make something like this for themselves. And if you want to make this style project bag, but you don't want to bother hand sewing all the hexes, I get it, because it took me like 3 days to sew all these together. You could also do this with just a mini charm pack squares and create like a little patchwork panel. I mean, you could do a quilt block. Anything you want to do on this bottom panel would look great, and you could still do this whole bag construction the same way. So, okay, let me think. I need to remember what order I did this in, because I have all these pictures I want to show you of how I did it in case you guys want to do it. So the first thing I did was make my hexagon panel, and then I removed all my papers and pressed it flat, and then I picked out a lining fabric to go like a, let me just show you the lining. So on the back side there's candy corn, on the front side, it's just a cream and orange print. And then underneath here, I just went with the little orange. So this front panel is hexies, batting, and lining. And so every kind of step of this is kind of like a little mini quilt. It's kind of how I think about it. So I made my front panel. Before I trimmed anything, I quilted all of my little diagonal lines. That's another thing I had trouble deciding, was how to quilt EPP. A lot of people, it seems like they stitch in the ditch around the hexagons. That seems super tedious, and I am not the best at stitch in the ditch. I feel like my stitches would waver. I don't know. So I didn't. I just did kind of 60-degree angle lines using the patchwork as a guide. And I really like how it turned out, but if there are any other suggestions or tips for how to actually quilt on top of EPP, let me know. Anyways, okay, so once I had my front panel, my lining, and my batting all quilted together, I trimmed I trimmed it. Okay, oops, my alarm went off and cut me off. I couldn't sleep this morning, so I was just like, let's just get up and film a video. Anyways, so I made my quilted front, trimmed it down, and then I started figuring out how I wanted to add like an accent fabric and binding. And so what I decided to do was basically kind of use the structure and instructions from my all fabric project bag tutorial, but obviously I didn't sew the edges together and turn it right side out. I bound it like a quilt instead. So what I did is I cut 2 pieces, front and back, for the top zipper, and sewed them together, right sides together along the zipper, and then pressed them open and top stitched. I also added interfacing to this level, so that way it matched the thickness of the quilt, because this has batting in it, and so then this has fusible fleece interfacing, so the thicknesses match. And so then I had to figure out, okay, how am I going to attach my hexie panel to the zipper? And so what I ended up doing was cutting, I think this is a 2-inch strip I started with. So I did a 2-inch strip of this matching print, and I created a double fold binding tape, or people call it bias tape. I didn't cut it on the bias. But anyways, just a double fold binding. And so what I did is I sewed the top folded edge down onto the zipper right here. And then I opened up you can see how it goes, oops, on the inside and the outside. So then I opened up that opening and slid my patchwork panel into it and top stitched it into place all the way across. And so that's how I added the patchwork to the zipper, the bottom half of the zipper. And so then once I had the whole front, this and this done, I set it down and trimmed everything nice and square and figured out my size. And so once I knew how big the whole front was, I needed to create the back. And so for the back, I just used the same accent fabric as the front, and then I cut out a matching lining piece out of the candy corn. And I used fusible fleece again inside to match the thickness and sturdiness, of the front. So all pieces are nice and thick. I thought about quilting it because, it's kind of plain, but fusible fleece, it kind of holds everything in, and I didn't feel like quilting. So I skipped that step, but you could definitely quilt the back of this. Kind of like the front and the back are each its own like little mini quilt. So obviously you can get as wild and crazy as you want. So then once I had the back fused and matching in size, I laid everything, I stacked everything on top of each other, and I did a basting stitch all around the bag, and then I added my binding. Yeah, okay. I think I made it through all the steps. So honestly, really, really simple bag. And I definitely want to make this style, but using some mini charm packs too, so I don't have to sew, hand sew. I will say I loved making this, but I don't know that EPP is going to become like a new fave hobby. I definitely think I will do more of it in the future, but hand sewing is tedious, which everyone knows. And it just meant that I was kind of like obsessed. And so it just meant that I wasn't cross stitching for a few days because I was hand stitching on this. So, you know, I can't take away from my cross stitch time. So I will definitely be making this style again, but probably with some mini charm packs. But I am so super happy that I made this. I'm so happy I learned, you know, the basics of EPP, and I'll definitely be doing more of it in the future. But maybe as like maybe I'll do some like little flowers to like applique onto like project bags or book covers or, you know, fun stuff like that. Not like whole big panels because it takes forever. Okay, I've talked about this project bag for like 15 minutes, so I think I'm done. I love it. I do have a new Halloween project I need to start, and I'll sneak peek the linen and the threads because I don't want to show the pattern because I'm doing a Halloween smalls exchange with a few people, and I don't want my partner, who we don't know who our partners are, so like it's not like she would know, it's for her, but I don't want to show the pattern until my person has received their gift. So I will definitely take photos and stuff once I finish this, but new Halloween start coming soon in this project bag. Oh, I forgot to mention the zipper. Okay. This zipper, how cool is that? It's a black and white striped zipper with two nice zipper heads on it. I thought about just removing one of them and just doing one, but whatever. It's cute to have two zippers, right? I got this zipper at the Houston International Quilt Festival or Quilt Market, whatever they call it, back in November. And I took a picture of the brand, so I'll put it up on the screen. I just got it at a random booth. I got a red and white striped and a black and white striped, and I had completely forgotten I had it. And when I was digging through my zipper drawer, because I have a whole drawer full of way too many zippers, I was delighted to find this black and white striped zipper, and I feel like it's the perfect touch. Okay. Now I'm done talking about my project bag. Okay, let's talk about stitching, shall we? We shall. It's my Pam and Steph role play for a minute. What are you crying about? Why are you crying? Why are you crying so much? What y'all doing? Go wake Rab up. Okay, so I only worked on one cross-stitch project the entire last 2 weeks, which I don't know the last time that happened, honestly. It's crazy. I got obsessed with this, and it's a new start. So if you came here hoping to see progress on last week's projects, sorry, I just start new things. I have been an absolute lunatic the past 4 weeks in terms of buying and starting things because I've been stressed, you know? I was stressed about having surgery and just the recovery and trying to distract myself, and that took the form of retail therapy and new projects starting. So anyways, I started a new project last Sunday. Literally after I published my video, I settled in to watch some Flosstube, and I started with Brenda and Laura, everybody's fave, my fave, do not miss a video. And I think I have to go back. I'm pretty sure this was in Brenda's haul. She showed this Hands Across the Sea sampler called Elizabeth Wood 1850. And I'm just like a sucker sometimes for things with my name in it. And there are so many Elizabeth samplers to choose from because Elizabeth is like, I feel like the most common name in the world. But this one for some reason just like really jumped out and spoke to me. I think it was the size and the fact that it's a red sampler. I've really been wanting to do like a one color red sampler. I've really only done small projects in one color. I mean, this isn't huge, but it's like 140 by 140 or something. So I just was like, you know what? Hands Across the Sea has PDF patterns. I have a skein of Gloriana Silk Schoolhouse Red and buckets of fabric to choose from. So I started a new project Sunday afternoon, and here is where I'm at. So pretty. Oh my gosh. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. This is on 40 count mushroom Zweigart. And I'm using, oh yeah, Gloriana Schoolhouse Red, and just one strand over 2 threads. And you guys know I stitch right to left, so I know this looks a little odd, but I finished, these are the top 2 pages. And so now I'm on actually the 4th page, this little section, and then I'll do the 3rd page and I'll be done. So I'm about 2/3 of the way through this one, I think. And I just have been obsessed with stitching it. One color is so easy. And I also was kind of like, oh, this will be perfect for the hospital. I thought I was gonna stitch when I was in the hospital. I like barely knew my own name. All I wanted was more pain meds. I wasn't stitching. But anyways, I was like, oh, perfect, one color. I'll barely need to look at anything. Let's just look at the pattern once or twice and I'll be good to go. No, I did not stitch on this at the hospital, but it has been great. Great to stitch on the past couple of weeks. And I honestly don't really want to put this down until I finish it. It was my original goal, was to start it Sunday afternoon and have it done by this Sunday afternoon, but this week, kind of derailed me. So that is where I'm at. The fabric. So I got this fabric a couple of weeks ago when I went to the Golden Needle in San Marcos. And I think I mentioned like mushroom. I've never seen that color. Well, then I thought about it. Okay, so I stitched my stockings, my heirloom stockings on mushroom Lugana. No, not Lugana. Was it Lugana? I think it was just 25 count mushroom linen. I don't know, the color was mushroom and I totally forgotten about that. So this is just a standard Zweigart color, so not over dyed or anything. And I love Zweigart fabrics. The only problem is that they're like a little bit stiffer than the over dyed fabrics, because the over dyed fabrics have been processed more and they just end up becoming softer. And so what I did to kind of soften this up, I've heard of people just machine washing their Zweigart linens just to, soften them up, but I wanted to start this right now. So what I did was just literally crumpled it into, like, I sprayed it with my water bottle all over, crumpled it into a little ball and like kind of, not ground, but like kind of mix it up in my hand to like really get the water in there. And then I just ironed it completely flat and it made it so much softer. So definitely I think what I'll be doing in the future when I stitch on non-over-dyed Zweigart linen. Or maybe I'll plan ahead and put it in the washer and dryer, but that seems unlikely. So, okay, I think that's all I have to say about this one. I love it. And it's so cute and little on 40 count. Sorry, I'm just gonna hold it up again. It's like 140 by 150 or 140, like 140 by 135, something like that. It's not huge. I mean, it's a lot of stitching, but it's not huge, and letters go fast. And yes, hopefully I'll have this one done next week. Okay, that's my stitching. Oh, and I am keeping that project. Oh, I can't show you the chart. Let me flip that around. But I am keeping that one in my wonky strawberry bag that I love. Thank you for all the nice comments. I know it's not that bad, but like, these corners like fold over on themselves because, whatever. Oh, and one comment I saw a lot last week was asking if I used bias binding to go around the curves. Yeah, I sure did, and I sure still messed it up. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I know everybody's like so nicely being like, maybe if you use bias binding, and I'm like, yeah, I did. I think I just pulled way too tight on the corners and didn't give myself enough slack to like when it folded over, and so then it just like cupped up and like, folded these corners in. It's fine. I'll try again at some point. Okay, so that's the cross stitch, and now I have a few sewing projects to show you that are in progress. I did a little bit more work on my Mariette or Marietta, I don't know how to say this quilt from, I can't remember. I'll link the pattern below. Using my Ladybird fabrics, and I got another row put together. So not that much more progress, but it's growing. I've got 2 rows put together and I think it's absolutely beautiful. So just kept on working on this. Well, I mean, I put a row together. It took like an hour. I definitely want to sit down and put some more rows together and get this quilt top done sometime soon. So that is my progress on Mariette. I'm just going to call it Mariette. That's my decision. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but for now. Then a couple of weeks ago, I went to the Long Arm Quilters to finish up my Boo Crew quilt that I showed you earlier. And I also quilted together some fabrics with some Soft and Stable for that By Annie backpack that I told you guys I want to make. And I haven't made the backpack yet because turns out I ordered all of my supplies from By Annie's website that I needed to make the backpack, except the pattern. I forgot to buy the pattern. So I had to kind of guess at how much fabric to quilt together, and I think I overdid it, so like I have plenty. But we'll see, because my pattern has still not gotten here. I ordered it a week and a half ago, I think, and I don't know, I think maybe Monday or Tuesday the pattern will get here and I can finally start cutting out and working on my backpack. But in the meantime, I'll show you this big old blob of fabric that I quilted together. This is an Essex linen, I think it's called denim blue or something. If I have the details, I'll put them down below. But I did the Essex linen on the front side, and then I did this awesome plaid on the inside. This is from Kimberly Kite, Ruby Star Society's Strawberry and Friends. I am obsessed with Kimberly Kite's fabrics, and she's also a local Austin girl. Hey girl. Or at least she used to be. I don't know if she still lives here. I met her like a million years ago. I used to be like kind of a part of the Austin quilting cool scene back in like 2003 to 2006 because I taught quilting classes at this really cool quilt shop in downtown Austin that now no longer exists because cool stores just can't exist for that long. And so I don't know if anyone knows like Vicki Howell. She's an Austin knitter, like really famous knitter. She took a class from me. I think I won like a giveaway to like the Maker Fair. Is that what it's called? Maker Fair they used to have. Do they still do those? They used to have them in Austin. I think I won like tickets from Kimberly's blog a long time ago. Anyways, I've been a Kimberly fangirl. Oh, also, okay. I have like Kimberly Kite to blame for a lot of like my quilting life, because back in like the early 2000s, when I was like, maybe like mid 2000s, maybe 2005, 6-ish, when I was like really getting heavy into quilting, and I was like, how am I going to finish all these quilts? I hate quilting on my home machine. And I got into long arm quilting because Kimberly, who's local Austin, posted on her blog about a woman who rented time in her home on her quilting machine. It was like $12 an hour at the time. Amazing. It's not that price anymore. But anyways, it was like $12 an hour, and I was like immediately looked her up, found her phone number. She was like 10 minutes away from me, and I started renting time from her as well. And so I feel like I kind of have Kimberly Kite to thank for my long arm quilting obsession. It's a random story. Anyways, love her fabrics, love her. So I quilted this together. What else do I have to say about it? I did like a diagonal plaid pantograph. It's kind of hard to tell, but I think it looks really cool with the actual plaid, and I just wanted something dense, you know. Let's see if I can kind of show it. But obviously when I get my pattern and start making progress on this, it'll look much nicer than just a big old huge blob of fabric that still has a tiny bit of Boo Crew backing attached to it, because I sewed my backings together and just did the Boo Crew quilt first and then laid the Soft and Stable down. So anyways, okay, that is that. Okay, and then in the last 2 weeks, I have also started a brand new quilt, because what's the point of having 10 quilt whips when you could have 11? And this is the Letters to Santa quilt that Moda is hosting a quilt along for on their blog. The letters are a paid pattern that Fat Quarter Shop actually has a download for it. So of course a PDF downloaded that super quick, and they are the Primitive Gatherings mini alphabet. I'll put a link down below. And other than that, Moda is kind of providing some filler blocks and layout guidelines and templates and stuff, but it's kind of like a choose your own adventure if you want it to be, or you can follow like what Moda's doing if you don't want to have to think about your layout and measurements and stuff. But of course I went the hard way because I saw this quilt mock-up that Moda put on their blog, which is a mock-up of is it Moda Lisa or is it a different, I can't remember the designer, but she did her favorite Christmas movies. And I loved almost everything on the list. And the ones that weren't my particular favorite are ones that Rob loves. I don't even want to admit what they are because you guys will probably be like, what? That's not one of your favorites. But A Christmas Story. I don't get it. Don't come for me. But anyways, he loves A Christmas Story. And so I wanted everything that she had on her quilt, but I also wanted to add a couple, well, one in particular, no, two in particular that I wanted to add and one that Rob wanted. And so I added 3 new movies to it. So I had to like adjust my layout. And so I added in The Family Stone, which is me and my mom and my sister's like favorite Christmas movie. We watch it all the time. It's absurd and amazing. And I feel like once a week, one of us will be like, Brad Stevenson to each other for no reason because we love that scene. If you haven't seen the movie, that makes no sense, but Brad, we'll get a laugh 9 out of 10 times in my family. So I added in Family Stone, and then I needed to add in Christmas Vacation because love Christmas Vacation. I love all of the vacation movies. I'm a big Chevy Chase Vacation fan. They're so dumb and I love them so much. So I had to add in Christmas Vacation, and then Rob wanted me to add in Gremlins. So I did that, and this is the layout I came up with. And to kind of make my layout, what I did was I downloaded Moda's template to kind of planning template that they have on their website, and I put it on my iPad and used my Apple Pencil to basically, you know, write out the words in the position I wanted them. And then I did color placement. So you'll see in a second, my colors look different from like the mock-up, but it's the spirit of the colors. It's like to help me guide and know what I'm doing and kind of, you know, work with my color placement. So I got sewing and I made the whole first row. And I made how the Grinch stole. Okay, so this is actually the end of the first row. So these are the completed words I have, which is the whole first row. And then I got started on the next word, which is Christmas, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And so I have a C, an H, dropping them, an R, an I, and then I need to make Stmas, and sew it all together so I can have How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And then after the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, I think I have a couple filler blocks to make before I start the next movie. So I'm really excited to get a few of those made and start like laying this out and seeing how it all looks. Actually, I took a little video clip of it laying across my bed so you could kind of see the whole, I don't know, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be like 90 by 92 or something. It's gonna be queen size, like full queen size bed quilt, because I added a bunch of movies and I love a big quilt. So fabrics, I had so much fun pulling fabrics, and what I decided to do was use the color palette that the original designer who mocked up the Christmas movie quilt, what she kind of had picked. So she used Jolly Darlings, which is the new Ruby Star Christmas fabrics that are coming out. but I'm impatient. And since those are not available to the general public yet, and I do not have my hands on them, and I wanted to get started, I decided to just pull similar colors out of my stash, and I bought some. So this is my bin of fabrics. And so I have, actually I'll post a picture. I took a really cute picture of all the fabrics before I started cutting them up. But you know, I just have a really good selection of yellows and pinks and reds and greens and some aquas and navy. And I may need, I don't really know actually how much fabric this quilt is going to take. You use a lot of background. So I used, I think, let me see. I used a full fat quarter, plus maybe a little bit more to do Grinch out of the green. But then the white, it used like 2 1.5 inch strips of fabric, right? So then when I'm doing the opposite direction, which most of my words will look like this with a white background, you know, then I use like 2 1.5 inch strips, and then, you know, maybe, you know, I use more, you use more background. Is that what I'm trying to say? That's what I'm trying to say. So I really don't know how much fabric it's going to take me. And so I am using, Lori Holt's, B cross stitch, with, I think it's the, whatever the like bright true red is called in her line, farmhouse or barn red. I can't remember, but I'm using, a Lori Holt B basic, and, then just a mix of fabrics out of my stash. So yeah, is that all I need to tell you about this quilt? I think so. I'm just really, really excited to keep working on it. It is slightly tedious because all of the letters have a ton of pieces. I mean, not all of them. H's, T's, I's, those are great. But like R's or S's or G's, they got a lot of little pieces. So I can kind of make, you know, a few letters an hour. So I've kind of just been making them one word at a time. I sit down, I cut out all the pieces for one word and start assembling them. And that kind of helps keep me organized. I don't think this is a project where you can cut out everything at once and then sit down and sew it all together, because I don't know, you'd have to be super organized and have a lot of space for that to keep everything straight. So I'm just doing it one word at a time. Hi. I'm filming. Huh? I just left the door open so it was cooler in here. So they were in here crying to me like 10 minutes ago, and I was like, go wake up Rob. Sounds like they did. Hi. Love you. So that's my letters to Santa quilt, and I am definitely going to try to get it done this year before Christmas. Got plenty of time. It's just August, but I also have a lot of other quilts and things I want to make. So we'll see how it goes. My goal is to try to at least do a word a week, because let's see, if I do a word a week, how many weeks do we have till Christmas? Like 20-ish? Oh no, I'd have to do more than that. There's more than 20 words on this quilt. I'll have to make a plan, but maybe a row per week. Maybe I could do that. We'll see. But yeah, I'm having a lot of fun working on it, and maybe I'll work on it some more later today, because I haven't worked on it in about a week, and now pulling all of it out, I really want to work on it. Okay, so that is everything that I've been working on the past 2 weeks. It was a lot. I know it was minimal cross stitching, but hopefully you enjoyed it anyways. I have some haul. I've been buying so many fabrics and things because I have so many quilt ideas in my head and just projects I want to make, and it's getting out of hand. Also, there's this new fabric line called, is it called Christmas in the City? Let me see. Yes, Christmas in the City by Art Gallery Fabrics. Look at it. Gorgeous. So I got some some half yards. Oh my gosh, this one is my fave. Yes. And this. So I got some lovely half yards. I don't have a plan. I just needed them, so they came home. This was a pink that I tried for the Letters to Santa quilt, and it might still get incorporated if I ended up needing more pink fabric, but I got some pink. I got, okay, Laura, Cereal Starter. I don't know if you watch my videos or not, but if you do, look up, because look at this Star Wars Christmas print with Baby Yoda wearing a tiny Santa hat. Or maybe it's regular Yoda. I don't care. It's adorable. This definitely is screaming project bag to me, or something fun. I don't know. I just had to have it, so I got a half yard of, or did I get a full yard? No, I just got a half yard. Responsible Liz, just got a half yard of Star Wars Christmas fabric. And then this is like one of my all-time favorite Ruby Star, formerly Cotton and Steel fabric prints, and they did it in this super cute pink, and so I had to get my little tigers in pink. And then this I haven't folded yet, so it's a mess, but I basically got a bunch of greens and reds as potential options for my Letters to Santa quilt along. And so these didn't make the immediate cut, but these again are getting folded and put up here as backup if I run out of fabric or need to add in some more prints. So much fabric. And then there's more in this box. Fat Quarter Shop announced on one of their Friday quilting videos that they were going to do a Lori Holt Scrappiness is Happiness quilt along. And so I bought up here the Prairie Fat Quarter bundle a while ago. Not a while ago, a couple of weeks ago. And I decided to get Lori Holt's Scrappy Backgrounds Fat Quarter bundle to go along with it, because I always need some backgrounds, and I've got the Prairie bundle, so whenever they start that Scrappiness is Happiness quilt along, I definitely want to join in, and I want it to be ready to go. And I think this is already sold out. Like, I saw it on the What's New page. I'm on that What's New page every day. It's like my Google homepage. I have placed a Fat Quarter Shop order like 5 times in the last 2 weeks. Anyways, whatever. I'm an absolute lunatic right now with distracting myself by online shopping. Whatever, it's fine. Anyways, I got that bundle. That was in box number 1. Let's see what it's in these other boxes. Oh, one thing that I got off Amazon is a 3-pack of Aurifil, I think this is called beige, light beige, 50 weight threads. This is what I use on my sewing machine, and it's usually I think around $12 or $13 a spool for this size, which is just like the normal sewing machine size. I don't even know what you would call this. Let's see. Does it tell me? 1,300 yards, maybe? I don't know. This size is normally like $12 or $13. And so sometimes I find on Amazon, they'll do, some sellers will have 3 packs for like $29. And so anytime I can get a spool under $10, I call it a win, because that's a good deal to me. So I got this 3-pack on Amazon for $29 to kind of replenish my neutrals Aurifil thread. So wanted to mention that. I got my new Lindy Stitches Bird Crush Club, and I haven't opened it, so I'm going to unbox it right here with you. Oh, I thought that was going to pull easier and I could like edit it and be like, ah, it didn't. Oh, there's tape, that's why. Okay. Lewis's Woodpecker is our bird of the month. Oh my gosh, how cute is this? Here is the chart. Oh my gosh, so cute. And then it always comes with one of the overdyes that she calls for, or I think it might be the only overdye that she calls for, and the rest is DMC. So this is actually the tree branch color. So pretty. So got another one of those. Okay, and then I got my July 2022 Ruby Star Society Quarterly Club, and this is a club that I am subscribed to on Fat Quarter Shop. So here is the very kind of bright summery color palette, and they always just pull from a variety of Ruby Star collections. So let's see. These are actually just from 2, Koi Pond and Florida 2. So fat quarters from there. And then it comes with a free pattern and a thread. So awesome. I think we've reached the end of haul. I think the rest of this is Happy Mail. Okay, yay. Okay, first bit of Happy Mail is from Fat Quarter Shop. I got a box of goodies that they sent to me to show you guys and review here on my channel, and maybe use some of these as a giveaway because you're gonna be real excited about the last thing in this pile. But first they sent me the adorable Lori Holt stitch cards. Love those strawberry ones. And then they sent me their, I think this was part of, oh yeah, Stitch Quarterly. This must have been the summer Stitch Quarterly. And it's called Citrus Summer. And it's like this adorable mason jar with lemons. Really, really cute. And then they sent me some more Lori Holt goodies. You are the boss of your own quilt. So cute. And then 2 brand new items that they just announced, which is the support group Quilt Along and Stitch Along. I definitely want to make some of these bra quilt blocks. I think this is so cute. When I saw this on their, I watched their quilting live stream as well as their cross stitch live stream. And when I saw them show this off, I was like, oh, yes, yes. And then like the next day, this showed up in the mail and I was like, thank you. So this is the quilt pattern, and I will be keeping and using this. I think though I will give away the adorable cross stitch pattern and the matching needle minder. Like, this is the cutest needle minder I've ever seen, this little pink bra. And I would keep it, except I don't use needle minders. They're just like decorative at my house, and I have so many, so I'll give this to someone who can use it. So this will be a future giveaway. So cute. Maybe I'll do it today. We'll see what I have. I have some other giveaways, so hold tight for that. And then the last thing that they sent me, oh my gosh, I kind of wish I had known because of course I pre-ordered this book and already have it, but they sent me a Scrappiness is Happiness book. So one of you guys is gonna get to win this book. I'm gonna give this away at the end of the video. This book is amazing, and I think not Lori, well yeah, Kimberly mentioned that next Friday, or in a few days Friday, not a few days, when it's Sunday, I never know whether to say next week, this week. Is anybody else like that? Anyways, in like 5 or 6 days on Friday, Kimberly's quilting live stream, Lori Holt is going to be the guest, and she said they're going to show every single sample, every single quilt in this book in that live stream. So of course I have the book and I've seen them all in pictures, but I cannot wait to see them like held up and kind of on video. And yeah, so if any of you are interested, hold tight to the end of the video and we're going to give this away. Okay, and then I got some mail from Carla at Cobweb Corner. Carla runs a really great cross-stitch shop called cobwebcorner.com. She has really great prices and a rewards program. So if you haven't shopped with her, I would definitely go give her website a try. She, from time to time, will send me some fun goodies to give away to you guys and a couple of things for me. And so I'll show you the stuff that she sent for me, because she sent me some charts and then also some other little goodies that she thought I would like. So she sent me, well, I picked this out, Heart and Hand Doodles Halloween. I just love this doodle series that Heart and Hand does, and I stitched the spring doodles for my niece Isla a few months ago, and I really want to do this Halloween one. So super cute. And then I also picked out from her shop Mr. Cat, which is another Satsuma Street perforated paper kit, because you know I love these kits. And I just, anything Black Cat, you know, we have, of course, our Black Cat Diego. I'm kind of obsessed, so love Mr. Cat. And then she tucked into the box some other goodies, and some of these I think she got from Fat Quarter Shop and just knew she wasn't going to use, so she passed them on to me. And I'll include them in giveaways because some of these, well, all of these are stuff I actually have. So she sent me this Rockin' Around tree pattern. She sent me Alpine Blooms, which is gorgeous. This one I might be keeping because I don't have this one and I love it. Zurich. I really love that quilt pattern. And then away we go. And poinsettias, which I know I have because I definitely want to make this one, but I'll include that in a future giveaway too. Oh, and then she sent me one of their loud Mad for Plaid project bags. Crinkle, 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 crinkle. Okay. So let's do giveaways, because in addition to all the fun goodies Carla sent me, she also sent me 2 charts for you guys. So I picked these, and one of them I picked because, well, they're both Halloween, and I meant at the start of the video to do some previous Halloween finishes, and I just now realized I didn't do that. But I will show you one previous finish because I picked the chart to give away. So I thought I'd show you my finish. And that is Barbara Anna, what is it called? Wicked Plant. And this is not museum glass, so it's pretty reflective. But I was inspired to stitch mine by Cindy C Stitches on Instagram. And so I borrowed kind of her idea of the color conversion. She added in orange and pinks and whites, I'm pretty sure. I'd have to go back and look, but I definitely was inspired to stitch this by Cindy. And this is like one of my favorite all-time Halloween stitches. I love this frame, and I just think it turned out so cute. So this is my previous finish. I'm not remembering the details off the top of my head. I'm sure it's a 36 or a 40. I think it's a 40 count just by looking at my tiny stitches. And I used my own conversion of colors, maybe a couple of the called for, but this was kind of just a pull from stash and go for it. And then I'm pretty sure the fabric is a Lakeside vintage maple sugar, maple syrup, vintage maple sugar. I can't remember the name of that color, but love this. So giveaways. Okay, so from Carla, we have Barbara Anna, A Wicked Plant. So here's what the original design looks like. So here, I'll kind of show you. You can kind of see how I added in a bunch more orange and some like kind of light pinks, muted pinks. And if you are interested in winning this chart, please include the word wicked in your comment. Wicked. And then the next chart is Madame Chantilly Halloween. I, of course, am working on my own Madame Chantilly Celebrate Love, I think is the one I'm working on. This is Celebrate Halloween, and I just think it's adorable. And so I thought maybe one of you guys would like to stitch this. So if you want to stitch this one, just put Halloween in your comment and Wicked for the other one. So that's 2 of the giveaways. And then the third giveaway. Scrappiness is happiness. So if you want to be entered to win Scrappiness is Happiness, please put the word scrap in your comment. I try to keep my giveaways open worldwide, but this book is heavy and I feel like it would cost like $30 to ship it. And I know Lori's books are available overseas, and it would probably be cheaper if you wanted for me to buy it somewhere overseas and have it shipped to you. So I feel really bad. I am going to limit this book just to the US, just because I can mail it first class and it'll only be, you know, $5 or $6 and not 30. Shipping prices have gotten crazy. So the other patterns, open worldwide, wherever you are, no problem. I'll send those to you. But I think the book, I'm just gonna have to limit to the US for right now. So if you would like to win Scrappiness is Happiness, please use the word scrap in your comment somewhere, and I will send you this amazing book. Okay, let's just go ahead and do a 4th one. If you want to win support group, the cross stitch pattern, and oops, let me turn it around, needle minder, brand new from Lori Holt and Fat Quarter Shop. Just use the word support in your comment. Support. So yeah, we'll do 4 giveaways this week. You can enter 1 or 4 or whatever you want to enter as many as you want. You'll only be picked to win one of them. So once your name gets drawn, you're out of the running for the others. What else should I have to say? Please be a subscriber. Please like the video and leave me a comment using the keywords, because that's how I pick the winners. And yes, good luck. Okay, last order of business, because this video is getting long. I did a 15K 2-year subscriber, no, not 2-year subscriber, 15K subscriber 2-year anniversary giveaway last week. And I offered up 5 Etsy gift cards for $25 each, and I pulled those winners. So, okay, the winners are Happy Handcraft Studio, thank you, Laura Schroet, Scottish Logic, and she said she's been watching me since the very beginning. Thank you. Hi. Arlene Dolan. I definitely recognize your name. I think you've been with me for a while too. And Susan Dow. So yay, congrats. My email address is in the description box below. Please send me an email there, and you don't need to send me your address, just need your email address, and I will send you an Etsy gift card. If you are in another country, I think I saw one person was in Canada, let me know when you email me if, the Etsy gift card needs to be in USD or whatever your currency is, and I'll figure out how to make that happen. Hopefully I can just send it to you in USD and then you can use it in your local Etsy store, but we'll figure that out. So yeah, just email me and let me know you're the winner, and I'll double check. And and then I'll send you an Etsy gift card. So yay. I think that's everything I have to share with you. I feel like this video is going to take me hours to edit, so I'm going to go work on that now, and I'll see you again in 2 weeks. Thanks for watching. Bye.